After 2 weeks, two legends have come back once again to entertain you on Thursdays. Welcome to the ThyGap podcast. This is your favorite host being Brute, and with me is
Bogus Noog.
Welcome, Bogus. 2 weeks of break, unwanted, unnecessary, but we couldn't do much about it.
Forced.
Forced.
Couldn't be helped.
The forces of nature were not really acting on either of us, but we just had to be away from the mics.
Yeah, we couldn't help it. And it's a good thing, Brute, that we already recorded an episode called Weekly Uploads. It's not easy.
Yes.
And it's so great because it's just 3 minutes long. So
Yeah.
every time or anytime we happen to miss an episode, you can always go check that out again.
Always.
It always
We-
applies.
We don't leave any stone unturned.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We ensure we cover our footsteps, and all our audience are well aware of what's happening with both of us.
What is happening with both of
Well,
us?
the 2 weeks that we couldn't come, we don't have to say to our audience that you had some digestive issues and I had some.
We don't have to say.
We don't have to say all
They
that.
understand.
They get it. They get it. Like,
Yeah.
they're smart.
Yeah. But Brute, I just wanted to say, off the bat, in the intro, you mentioned entertaining podcast or entertainment.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much of our English podcast can be, categorized as entertainment
It is
nowadays.
entertainment. It is entertainment.
At least compared to our Telugu podcast, because did you know, guys, that we also have a Telugu podcast?
guys, if you
it's doing
don't know that there is a Telugu version of the ThyGap podcast, which is purely focusing on the current affairs with respect to the movie industry, then guys, you gotta do 25 sit-ups.
Seriously, this is another thing that can't be helped now. While you're doing it, you'll understand our position of why we were not there for 2 weeks.
Yes.
It matches.
Absolutely. And with that, Bogus, with that little brief
Yep.
of the uncertain past, let's start with
Why we're doing this week's episode. This week's episode, Brute, is relationships. It's not easy.
well, definitely not easy.
Brackets maybe part 1. Okay.
Hence, we are entertaining Bogus, just to reassure your confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, today we're going to speak about relations. It's not easy, and I know it's a well-trodden path of discussion, which is relations.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people have been talking about it. So this is not like something absolutely new that ThyGap is going to offer to the audience. This can also be considered as one of the lazy recordings of ThyGaps, right? But let's just get to the brass tacks.
Or it is not that, and it's exactly the opposite. It's a unique gem available
Unpolished, uncut diamond.
across the internet. You're not going to get anything more refreshing and more unique than this.
Absolutely.
Probably.
It's all a matter of,
Perspective.
state of mind.
Yeah,
It's basically how you want to treat us.
Potato.
Touche.
So, Brute, relationships, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Another good thing with the It's Not Easy series,
Right.
Brute, of course, as you know, is that...
I'm there. I'm
I
a
know.
part of it.
Exactly, as you
Yes,
already
hence.
know, Brute. As you categorically know.
Yes.
We have a format we have to this.
Right.
We have a structure. So
Right.
we go into what we mean exactly by relationships, because it's a huge
It's a very
umbrella
vague
term.
Yeah.
There's so much that comes under that.
And we want to be precise. We are precision.
Because, and there's no way to cover all of that in 20-25 minutes.
Right.
So we're going to talk about one specific type of relationships.
Right.
Which is what, Brute?
The specific type of relation that we are talking about is, to put it in a nutshell, non-working relations. What I mean by non-working is
Non-work relations.
non-working relations is the
Has
kind of
another meaning.
relations you have. It's like unrequited love, your college first
Yeah.
love, and the crush who never responded, etc. But yeah, non-work
They
relations.
never seem to work.
They never seem to work.
Yeah.
Which is the most awaited part 2 of this episode. How to deal with non-working relationships. But no, it's non-work relations.
Right.
What I mean by non-work is basically friends and family who you develop relations with, where it's not about, oh, I met you in that company, you're from HR department and we got close during our orientation.
Yep.
Or, hey, how is it in top floor product team, etc. So these are pure relations that, are...
Oh, you were always there.
You were
when I
always
was
there.
born.
Yes.
And when I went to school.
I don't remember how we became friends.
You've been around for ages.
Yes, and this episode might answer the questions like, why are you my father? How come you are my mother? How come you married my father?
Exactly.
Etc. So that's what we mean, bogus. Like that's I do you have any other definition of this?
I think it's clear enough. So that's the context that we're talking about.
Right.
Now we move on to the next thing, which is, why is this not easy?
Well, it's out of personal experience, bogus, that we have chosen this topic.
Speak for yourself, please.
Okay, I have chosen this topic because you don't have family and friends who you give
Dead
value to.
Inside.
There are logs which have more friend circle than you. But what happened was, it's a very funny incident. And basically, I came back from work. I was done with work, rather. I was at home only. I'm not going to office.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So I was done with work. And then I looked at my phone and there were like about 4-5 missed calls, give or take.
Okay.
And all of them were from very different people, but who all come from the same friend circle, right?
Yeah.
And then I was too lazy. I was like, it's too late in the night. I can't like speak to them now, blah, blah, blah. And then one thing led to another, and I just didn't get back to them for like 2-3 days. And when I finally got back to them, I realized that the reason they were calling me so badly that day was that, they needed me. I won't give you the details, but fundamentally they like, we needed your help.
Right.
Or whatever. And that's the reason we were trying to reach out to you. But don't worry, things have sorted out. So, life is good. How are things with you? Blah, blah, blah. The normal jazz.
Yeah.
But after that conversation, I was like, shit, this would never happen with me. It never happened with me.
Right.
So why it's not easy? I mean, obviously, first things that hit me was, this is a ThyGap episode.
Of course.
This is absolutely it's top shelf.
That's the way we have to think.
Yeah.
Everything.
Like the great Dave Chappelle has said, the real purpose of an entertainer is to dissect every aspect of their life.
Yeah.
To convert into like a gem. And that's what we both are an expert of.
So even if we like tripped and fell on our face,
the first thing
is this an episode? Right?
Can this be an episode?
Yeah. Then you check whether you're bleeding or not.
Right.
It's in that order.
Exactly. Yes. So after I realized it was a ThyGap episode, I was like, this is uncalled for. This is not me. It was like this whole identity crisis kind of thing where I was like, I would have never let this happen. I was the guy who made people come together. Like I was the guy who would push people to meet each other or like create those reasons to go out and chill and stuff like that. And here I am sucked into work life where I've not been participating in with these friends for long.
It sounds like you caught yourself doing something off, like as if you just did something off for the first time. It's like you notice a tear in the matrix.
Yeah.
Deja vu, like what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, it's like the crack in the mirror type where like you start seeing the distorted image a little and now you're worried about it.
Right.
So the more I introspected, I started realizing that it's not just with my friends that this is happening. This seems to be happening with,
a lot of us.
A lot of
yes.
Other sections of my relations, right? Like with my family, my parents, my cousins who I'm really close with, etc., etc. And it's not about, it's okay because they didn't do it too.
Right.
For me, it was like, I'm not supposed to. This is not me, right? So that is where I felt that, it is very difficult in today's day and age, especially though you're working from home and you are kind of your master of your own work time and your work-life balance, etc.
Right.
And everybody keeps talking about this, right? Everybody is like, you have to maintain a work-life balance. You have to ensure you spend time with your family. And the moment they say family and if you're married,
they talk about it like how they talk about integrity.
Yeah, they talk about a lot of things like empathy and stuff, but they're like, can you just respond to it?
Core competencies.
Can you just respond to this mail by like, I don't know, like next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I know it's like 1 in, but still really important for our very early meeting at 12 o'clock tomorrow.
But let's be diverse and inclusive by 2. Okay.
So fundamentally I started realizing that yes, we are not able to spend that much time.
Right.
Though we are somehow feeling delusion that we are in control of the time that we have on a daily basis. Somewhere down the lane, all these relations that we have built or have built us as an individual are not in the top 3 priorities that you would invest your time in.
And you had me at control because I was just thinking control, it's not easy.
Yeah, see, that's what happens. We are like Inception. We find a topic inside a topic inside a topic.
Yeah,
for our episodes.
Exactly.
It's
all out of desperation.
It's
pure desperation.
Pure. It is a raw form.
It is sweating desperation.
Lustrous
and panic
desperation.
and dread. of the future.
Of the future.
But as
and
you were
ourselves.
saying, yes.
Yes. So, Bogus, but that is why it's not easy, I feel, because we are so, enveloped
Right.
in our own work life and us thriving for success in whatever walk of life and all that. We somehow start putting others, stacking things up
Right.
above our relationships.
The things that are actually important.
Are actually important. The reason why they're important is because those are the things that have made.
Before we go into why it is important.
No. I'm just like telling the reason why they're not P5, P6 material is because these are the things that made you.
Right.
You are who you are, not because of, yes, because of your skill and
Other
your
stuff
talent.
and all that, but this is
But
foundational.
majority.
This is foundational stuff.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? And that is when I started realizing the actually successful people are the ones who actually broke this code or broke this.
They broke the wheel.
Yeah, they broke the wheel. They figured out the formula to maintain this and leverage these relationships in the perfect way.
And it is a wheel. It is a pattern, which we also talked about in history. It's not easy. It actually connects to that because we talked about this, where you look at the patterns of the past where people keep bemoaning all these special people that they lost and they didn't use their time properly with them, and you're saying the same thing.
It builds regret.
We're taking them for granted because they've always kind of been
it's
there.
a very bad feeling.
Yeah.
The moment you realize that shit, I've been taking them for granted. And I think, I don't know, I can't generalize this, but I think the first relations that to get hurt is that, the father-daughter, the father-son kind of relation. So the parents and kids relation, right?
When they start living by themselves.
Yeah, when you start living by
Adult
yourself.
life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for me, it did happen very recently where I was like, no, I can't
allow this to happen.
Yeah, I can't allow this to happen. I'm not supposed to let this happen.
Yeah, it would be wrong.
It would be, it's like a cardinal sin that I'm doing. And to be very honest,
and there won't be any end to that regret, basically.
Time lost is time lost.
That's it, right?
You can never get it back. So what you can only do is improve the quality of time going forward, right? But like the moment you realize that, oh shit, 2 years passed by just like that, and I hardly had like a very genuine conversation with my mother or father or that close cousin you have or etc. You feel really bad. That is why it is not easy.
Yeah, in my case, I can relate to that as well because I also like, that creeps into my mind.
Yeah, that one pillow who you started taking granted for in the long list of relationships that you don't have. That one pillow, I've not watched it for so long. So granted I've taken it for.
But then I've always kind of been sort of, I don't know, I've always had this mindset, which is I'm more of I kind of have to see them like they have to be in my physical proximity or they have to be there. Otherwise, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing.
Right.
Because otherwise, I don't know, I think I have limited bandwidth, so whatever I have around me at that point of time, that's it. That's what I focus on, like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
But you can say that's an excuse, but if it's good enough for MS Dhoni, that's good enough for me, That's what I'm saying.
As horrendous as I'm feeling right now that I have to agree with you, that is a disease we have become okay with. That whole concept of out of sight, out of mind.
I'm not like, if someone
I feel it is a disease.
Picks it up, then I agree, but I've always been like this.
Like you said, it is not a good enough reason to make this whole thing sound okay.
Yeah, it's good enough for number 7, man. What do you want to say?
Look at number 7. Is there at number 10?
Tala signs off.
Tala signing off has made them go to number 10 position.
Nope, he's not holding the reins. Anyways, correct. Don't digress.
Yes, okay. Yes. But yeah, that is a very, again, that's a really important thing. The whole concept of out of sight, out of mind. Probably a topic. But and that's exactly what I'm saying.
So why is it important, bro?
I really don't know.
What? What was the point of the recording?
No, because of aforementioned reasons.
Let us take a moment to think strong and hard about why our friends and family are actually important. Should we really care about these people?
Let me think.
That's a chin scratcher, man. Right
there. Yeah. That's also like a back scratcher. It's an itch you can't like really get rid of.
Yeah.
Perhaps. It's a very annoying question, to be honest.
If only there were some friends or family around to scratch my back. But I stopped caring about them. So, oh no.
Now that I have like a scratching stick, do I really need them?
Well, he's my new friend.
Yeah. I got a dog for that. But
why is it important?
Yes. It's pretty plain and simple. the first reason, let's first try to like break it down into why friends and family are important. It's a very important question.
Right.
Because I feel they are probably your strongest source of emotional energy.
Okay.
Because nobody in the world understands you better than them. Nobody in the world gets you better than them. And nobody in the world can be as brutally honest as them.
Right.
So, like any childhood friend,
they really are the real friends, right?
Yeah.
Like, who actually call out your shit.
Because they were there when you're nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, they're there since the beginning of time, right? And it's a very common knowledge that if you're still having those 2 or 3 people who've been there since your childhood,
right,
and who are still like in touch with you, they are your true critiques, or they are the guys who have zero apprehension in calling out your flaw on your face, because they're not friends with who you are now.
Yeah.
They've been friends with you because of who you could become.
Yeah.
Or, the whole glorified version of dosti. Right?
Yeah. I mean, many years back, wink, wink. And a good friend of mine, wink, wink,
wink, wink,
was talking to somebody, and kind of like in a conversation, it came up, and he just happened to ask the guy, like, hey, how come nobody's told you this before? You need to change the stuff you're doing because you're kind of on a path to self-destruction. You're making a mistake. How come nobody around you has told you this before? Like, don't you have so many friends, right? You keep traveling to all these places with them every now and then. So hasn't anyone told you this? He was like, no. So
so sad.
all this while, you actually did not have any real friends then.
Yeah.
I mean, and I was thinking, here my good friend was thinking that, this guy
asking for a friend.
He seems to be, this guy seems to be having a good life. Like, he seems to be socially active.
Right.
He's traveling. He's growing well. He seems to be growing in the right path or whatever.
Yeah.
But then he turns around and says to my friend, that nobody actually is brutally honest with him. Like, nobody actually calls out his shit.
Yeah.
If they see anything that he may be doing wrong, no one actually cares. They're all just hanging out for a good time. That's it.
Yeah, that's the worst, right?
That's it.
That's the worst, yeah.
And when I actually pointed out this, when my good friend actually pointed out this,
is the other good friend
to that guy, many years back, right? There was a pause. There was a long pause because he could actually see it sink. That point, that realization. He was like, I don't think I have those type of friends.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What else type of friends are there?
My good friend was shocked.
Yes.
But yeah.
And that's why it is important. It's as simple as that. It is really inevitable that you'll reach a point where people really don't care. The percentage of your relations who actually care in the relationship that with you starts decreasing drastically, because everybody is in the same with time, everybody's in the same vicious circle, right? Like, they are also prioritizing that, okay, all I need is like one guy to hang
we're
out
all
with.
Just gathering moss. Like, we're going to get
our own
gang, our own group.
It's
all
like
of us.
that William's father in Pirates of Caribbean was stuck into the wall.
Oh, okay.
Right? So you don't want that to happen, which is why it's really important to like go back and revisit it on a regular basis. So every man for himself, bogus here. But what I have done is it's a very conscious effort, and it actually works in my favor. So there is this friend of mine, really, really close friend of mine. He's a friend of mine, like I don't even know how I met. We became friends. We have been friends since so long.
Before you can remember.
Yeah, before you can remember.
Right.
There's like very vague memories of, oh, hi, and so, and hi, brute, for the first time. But we genuinely don't know how. He's like my school friend since like day one or something, right? And obviously we grew thick, we grew together in our lives and all. There came a point, like suddenly, like after marriage and everything, we started seeing that, we are drifting apart.
Right.
And because we are so thick and like slow, blunt to each other, we were able to say that to each other, saying that we are drifting apart. You're moving to a different place in the city. I moved to a different place in the city. Your work has taken you somewhere else, and my work has taken me somewhere else. And we can't let this happen. We have to figure out to put a stop to this. It can't be that we start meeting each other twice a year and then that's about it.
Right.
That's not good for us. It's not healthy. So we made it as a very conscious effort that every Wednesday, we're going to meet after our dinner. wherever we are, however it is. And we'll just talk like, we'll spend time like how we spent as college going kids.
Right.
It's not about coming up there and then talking about, oh, what have you done? There's no professional talk. There is no adult talk. It's all absolute crap that you can speak. Right. And you won't believe it started with only me and, my friend.
Right.
And then obviously, when you go out for that one friend's kid's birthday party, the other set of friends started hearing about it.
Okay.
And one thing led to another. Now it's like back to like college days where 6 to 7 of us meet on that weekly basis, on that one day, on that evening, and just talk crap. We are talking chicks, you're talking cars, you're talking what is the latest game you played, we are talking about movies, we are talking about all kinds of nonsense.
Wow, look, it's an uncle's kitty party.
Yeah.
It's great.
It is exactly that. Why should girls have all the fun?
Exactly.
So, and you won't believe the amount of stress that we were able to dissipate about the other things of our life.
Right.
Like your work, about your financial things.
Even if you don't talk about it, right? It still dissipates.
It still dissipates.
Especially if you don't talk about it.
Exactly. And that's when we all realize that that's the trick.
Right.
We had it with us all this while and fucking didn't use it.
Because that's the same trick that works in travel.
Yeah.
Why travel works is because you automatically leave all the bullshit behind and you're fresh.
Yeah.
So
the moment you cross that border, you're like, I don't know which city.
Yeah.
I don't know what my past life is. I'm like Gajini.
I'm a leaf in the wind.
I'm Memento.
Yeah.
I have, vague memory of what my past life was, but I'm a fresh guy.
Yeah.
So that is what made it really important. And that translated to other relationships of mine, right? Like now me and my cousins have that one call once in a month where it's not just a call.
So you're setting that cadence.
Yeah, you set that cadence.
You're
set
taking that conscious effort.
Exactly. You set a rhythm to it. And for me, I started seeing better things happening in my work, right? I'm more free in my work and I'm more expressive in my work. I'm not like going into that, what do you say, the tunnel vision or becoming unidimensional at work.
Like
now
robotic,
I'm actually
almost,
right. It's not like machinery work types. So that is something that I have done for myself, which has been really helpful. And now I kind of understand that whole Oscar speeches where like, above all, I want to thank my friends and family for supporting me. And like, what support do you need? You're an actor. Like as if like you're going and rehearsing lines with your mother or your father. Like what support did they do exactly? I wanted to know. But now I think I have the answer for that. What kind of a pivotal role your foundational relationships play
right
for your success, irrespective of whether or not they're giving you like career advice or not, but they are like probably the best sources of emotional energy.
Yeah, it's a good place to take inspiration from the Oscars, because you can you thank your family, you show gratitude for your family, then you also slap for your family.
Yeah.
You can do all sorts of things from the Oscars.
It's Vin Diesel, bro.
A lot of lessons to learn.
It's Vin Diesel, bro. It's family.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, and that's why it's important. If you have already not, then you better start prioritizing that 2 hours a week or 3 hours a week or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's fast becoming like a trendy thing in a way.
What, in your life? Like
no, in
how?
general, I'm seeing a lot of people where they're like, okay, this is how you break down your week. You spend like 2 nights with your wife, then you spend 2 more nights with your family. Blah blah blah. There's a lot of things that I'm seeing, a lot of content based on how to maintain the true work-life balance, etc.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and this also, by the way, connects to our previous episode, A Good Life. Check it out.
Yeah.
ThyGap,
important.
Subscribe. Yeah.
And share.
So I think, that about covers it, bro. Like, why is this not easy and why is it important?
Right. What else is left?
Well, the only thing left is follow us on our socials. On Instagram, we are
@_ThyGap.
And on Twitter, we are
@ThyGap.
And our email is
mindthygap@gmail.com.
And our Facebook is.
Well, that was a good show.
Metaverse is. That was a good show.
That was a great comeback show.
Good to be back after 2 weeks.
Yes, exercise those vocal cords,
Yeah, we do, fold our hands and...
yes, bow down and say sensei.
Yes, it's good to be back. And thanks for listening. Keep
listening, keep sharing, keep typing, keep rolling.
Keep taking showers.
Keep brushing.
Yeah.
Keeping.
And that, bro, is why we say relations, star mark conditions apply, one type of relation.
Is not easy. It's not easy. It's not.
Not easy.
Do you know how hard it is to slap for your wife?